What's going on, everyone? Long hiatus here. I've been off. Been really busy, fucking with school, work, the gym. It's hard to balance everything, and keep making videos. So I thought I'd just kind of make a video here, throw in a bunch of shit in. Uh, that happened this weekend in sports. Great basketball, despite both series as being 3-0 right now. I've fucking thoroughly enjoyed both series. It's 3-0 Cleveland after their 114. I think it was 114-111 overtime victory last night. Excellent game. Like, fuck, one of the better games I've watched in a while. None of the hack of Shaq, hack of Jordan. Just great basketball to watch. LeBron doing his thing. Fucking watching right now on the highlights there. Jeff Teague played pretty good. Missed a couple of those key shots. If he would have made that one, he missed one there that would have gave them the win at the end of the game. And then he missed the one at the end of overtime. He missed the first one. And then he had a clean look in the corner and couldn't knock that down either. And right when the game ended, him and LeBron both hit the court from exhaustion. LeBron, it's going to be interesting when these playoffs end to see all the injuries this man has. I feel like he's got 4 or 5 injuries right now. But honestly, I think he'd play with a broken neck. But yeah, it's looking like he's kind of like, I don't know why people think he's embracing this like WWE-ish heel role, like the bad guy. But I don't know. I think people are coming around to LeBron. He's more like now than he ever was. He went back to Cleveland. He was obviously hated because of the decision he made to go to the Heat a couple years ago. Heat are my team. Still love them. Really hurt us, him leaving, though. So, yeah, the Heat. The Heat need to sign Dragic, I think, though. But he's not a max money player, I believe. But we do need to give him a deal that will keep him in Miami. I think he'll help Wade. Wade won't have to be as aggressive because he's getting older. He really can't do that stuff anymore. But yeah, kind of get off topic there. So they're like LeBron. Everyone wants to see this LeBron versus Curry matchup. Curry's kind of like the new face of the NBA, but I still think LeBron's the best player on the planet. Steph Curry's the best shooter on the planet right now, but LeBron's the best player. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that. And let's be honest, right now it's looking like that's what's gonna happen, with both teams being up 3-0. I didn't see the game Saturday night because I was watching the fights. I'll talk about those here in a minute too. Excellent fights, well worth the money. Anyone who put the money down to watch them. Fuck streaming. Order the fights. Anything you're passionate about or like, fucking give them your money. I understand if you don't have it, but if you got the money to do it, put the money down for the fights. So yeah, Curry. I didn't see the game, but I think Curry had 40 points. 7 assists or 8 rebounds, something like that was the stat line. Excellent game. I think he was 7 of 9 from 3. I'm just trying to think it off the top of my head from what I've seen. But from what I heard, the Rockets completely quit in that game. I was reading an article there where Dwight Howard said even the fans, everyone on the bench quit. It seemed like he brought a bit of effort, though, with his 14 points, 14 rebounds. They're going to need an effort from everyone in Game 4 if they want to even make this a series at all. They were down 3-1 to LA, so if I was the coach, I'd be bringing that up a lot in the locker room, trying to get their momentum back and try and get their heart in it. They can do it, but against the best team in the league, I'd give them about a 2% chance of that happening. I think it's going to be Cleveland Golden State final. I don't know how to predict that. If they can get the rest, because the final is going to be June 3rd, June 4th, I believe, the first game. Kyrie Irving's been banged up. They need to get him back. Kevin Love obviously won't be coming back, but Golden State's clearly more healthy, and they've got a lot of depth. When David Lee can't get a minute on the floor, your team's got some depth. Not that he's a phenomenal ball player or anything, but he's a pretty good player to not be able to even crack the lineup. And, yeah, it sucks betting against LeBron, but I think they're going to be in the same scenario kind of the Heat were. Although they don't get out-rebounded every night anymore, Tristan Thompson's provided an excellent spark. Dellavedova and if Irving's healthy enough to go, they could make it a series, but I honestly like Golden State in 6, I think, in that series. My mind could change from here to then. You never know, but I think there's just too much firepower. They move the ball well. The Heat, that was the Heat's problem last year. They ran into some problems. And think, though, if the Cavs were healthy, I think it'd be a very good NBA Finals. I'm not saying, probably still will be, but the way they move that ball and the banged up knee of Irving, it's going to be hard to really be giving all that effort on D. We'll see how time plays out, though, and I'm really looking forward to that series. It's going to be a good one. I think it's going to be a lot better than last year's NBA Finals. Kind of biased because my team lost, so a little bias on it. Let's talk a little bit about the fights Saturday. Fuck. Great fights from top to bottom. I watched the prelims here too, and then I went over to a buddy's for the fights. Was thoroughly impressed. I had attended 186 there in Montreal, and it was lackluster, but I still enjoyed it. I had a good time, enjoyed the atmosphere, but it wasn't anything like this one. Like, honestly, the fights in the prelims were almost better than that card. But yeah, I'll just run through the fights briefly because I don't have any notes or anything on them. Uriah Hall was fighting Natal. I can't think of the guy's first name. But yeah, these two guys, bad blood. They fucking hated each other. The fight started out, they both meet in the center of the octagon. Natal kicked him in the nuts to start the fight, like, fuck. And Uriah Hall looked pissed. These two guys were, they really didn't like each other at all. Pretty close fight, but I thought Hall won it. The judges gave it to Natal, but I thought Hall did more in the first and third rounds. I think it might have been the takedowns. He ended up on his back for a brief portion. I'm not sure what round. Like I said, I didn't take notes, and I was a little buzzed that night. So, Natal got that win. Covington beat Mike Pyle. Pyle almost choked him out, though, at one point, but Covington got the win. Another decision. What else was on the prelim? John Dodson and Zach Makovsky. I always like this when friends fight. These guys are apparently friends. They've trained together, but the problem is it kind of becomes like a sparring match, almost like you see in the gym. They're just kind of jumping around, having fun in there, and I like that. But at the same time, wasn't the most entertaining fight I've seen. Like, I was expecting, when I see John Dodson fight, I'm expecting an entertaining fight. So, wasn't overly impressed with that one. I still enjoyed it. Enjoyed the undercard for sure. But I didn't think that was the best fight. Trying to think of what the first fight on the main card was. Was it? Yeah, I think it was Joseph Benavidez versus John Moraga. Pretty entertaining fight. Just fucking start off the card. Excellent, actually. Fucking John Moraga, I've seen get beat a few times, so I had Benavidez winning, and Benavidez won. So yeah, that fight's kind of a blur to me. I don't even know if I showed up till that fight was like already started. I don't even know if I'll get these in the right order. But Donald Cerrone, John McDessie. McDessie actually fought at the UFC 186 I just attended. He was taking the fight on short notice and a huge step up in competition. Cerrone's one of the toughest guys at lightweight, and he's not to be fucked with. And wow, just some of the power on those leg kicks he was throwing. Fuck. Like, that would knock a normal man to the ground, I think, for sure. And he was landing some really good fucking shots to his jaw. But McDessie was standing in that pocket. I enjoyed that about it. And he did pay for it later. We'll get to that. But standing in that pocket, he was taking some damage. But he was also giving some out. Like, a couple little nice quick shots. Quick little jabs and straights to Cerrone. So he was kind of throwing him off a little bit there. But he just didn't have an answer for Cerrone. Cerrone caught him with a fucking mean back elbow. Like one of those. And I think that's when it started... when his jaw really started to be affected. He also took another head kick, I think, that did some damage to that jaw. But then later on in the fight there, Cerrone threw a massive head kick, and it caught him in the jaw, and he literally went to call a timeout. It was like Doug Blatt, fucking for the Cavs. He didn't have one, but he didn't get as lucky as Blatt, as the ref didn't notice it with Blatt. He was like, yeah, timeout, I'm done. That's it, it's over. And... nothing bad to say about him, though. That it clearly looked like his jaw was broken. He said he could feel it like snap right as he got hit there. And yeah, Cerrone's a beast, man. I'd like to see him either get that Pettis fight next or even a title shot. I don't know if he is going to be able to beat Rafael. Rafael is very good on the ground. I don't know. What he did to Pettis was scary. So I'd almost rather see Cerrone fight Pettis first, personally. Alright, now on to the fight of the night. This fight was just intense. Fucking Andrei Arlovski and Travis Brown. Before the fight, a guy whose coverage I really enjoy on the internet, Bruce Blitz, he tweeted out, this fight has 0.0001 chance of going decision. And I'm like, yeah, my friend, you're right. There's no chance this fight's going decision. But I got lucky in this one. my buddy there ordered for some a sub there. We were gonna bet on the fight, only $5-10 or whatever. I had Brown, he had Orlovsky, and I got lucky because he ordered his sub before this fight and had no money left. So with me taking Brown, I would have been fucked. His instincts were actually really good all night. I'm glad I didn't bet him. Although I was thinking 8-2 on the fights, the only two I got wrong was Hall. I thought, and he got robbed on this one because this fight, fuck, not many people seen this coming. And it's even crazier now that what's just come out that Andrei Arlovsky had something wrong with his calf. He could barely walk, and they were actually going to scrap the fight. But he toughed it out in front of the doctors, and they said, it's your call. If you can fight, you can go for it. And he toughed it out. He almost didn't make it to that fight. And these men come in throwing leather. He landed some huge shots on Brown. Rocked Brown. Like, he was fucking teeing off on that chin. And if Brown wasn't against the cage there, I really think he would have probably knocked Brown out earlier. But then Brown answers back, fucking with a huge hook. Knocks Arlovsky down, and we've seen with Arlovsky's chin. I was like, oh yes, here we go. Brown's about to win. Brown's got this fight. Brown was so fucking out of it when he knocked him down. He's swinging on the ground, and he's like falling, missing his punches, and I was like, oh my god, it's over. And Arlovsky gets back up and starts teeing off on Brown again. And the ref jumps in, calls the fight for the winner by TKO, I guess you'd say, or Andrei Arlovsky. And man, this guy, what's with all these guys that everyone thought was washed up getting in there? You've got Andrei Arlovsky, Robbie Lawler, kind of having Anthony Johnson. I'm trying to think of guys who have left and come back. Like, there's more. Like, these are just three. You could even say Mark Hunt. He kind of wasn't doing that well for a bit and got back on track. So yeah, these fighters, I think with age almost comes like experience, and they know a little more how their body can react. And they get a little smarter, I feel. Might not beat Miss Vicky's here 3 times a week when they got a big fight coming up. The most noticeable I've noticed is Robbie Lawler. Like, fuck, he's been impressive. I'm really excited for that fight with Rory. I hope Rory's not dumb enough to trade with him, because it could end up just like the first fight. But yeah, that's a great fight, that Arlovsky Brown. God fight of the night, if you ask me. But now we move on to the co-main event. Chris Weidman versus Vitor Belfort. Chris Weidman has been kind of the legend killer, Randy Orton-esque there from WWE, as he beat Anderson twice. Then he beat Machida. The Machida win was definitely a huge win for him, but people were second guessing him because of those Anderson wins, saying, "Oh, we didn't actually beat Anderson. Anderson beat himself both times." Chris Weidman was winning both those fights before those things happened, and I'm a big Chris Weidman fan. I don't know. I root on him every time he fights, pretty much. I think it's because I was a Chael Sonnen fan, and he's basically like Sonnen, but he does everything better, and he doesn't really talk. He doesn't talk the trash like Chael. He's kind of cocky, but it's more like confidence, like he just knows he's that good. So yeah, I got a little scared in this fight though. Vitor did not look like old Vitor. If you look at the before and after pictures, Vitor looked a lot different when he was on the TRT. And I don't know, to have him come off it, I don't think he really should have taken the fight with the way his levels were. He had the levels of like a 12-year-old girl going into this fight. And yeah, so he knew he had to come out strong because he was going to gas. He's got so much muscle mass that even still, like, he doesn't have the traps he did or anything, but he's still got the muscle mass that he's going to gas early, So he came out and he's teeing off. I honestly thought he might have fucking dropped Weidman here. But then when I actually rewound the fight and looked at it, he really didn't hit Weidman with much of that. Weidman was covering up, taking those like a champ, like the champ he is. But he did cut Weidman. Weidman was busted up pretty good. And then Weidman was like, okay, that's it, it's over. Weidman took him to the ground, and Weidman beat the fuck out of him. I believe Herb Dean was the ref. It was Herb Dean or that Smith guy, I believe. They gave Vitor every chance in the book to get up. Like, my friends I was watching with were even like, yo, dude, dude, stop it. Like, stop the fight. He's done. I was like, oh no, he's defending. It's a title fight. It's a title fight. And then the ref had just seen too much. And Weidman, that's what I like about Weidman though. You seen him there when he was pounding, ground and pound on Vitor. He wasn't looking up to the ref, looking for a stoppage. He kept pounding Vitor until that ref stopped him. You'll see some guys looking up like, it's over, it's over. And I really like that killer instinct for Vitor. He's going to have two, like, I don't know, though. He's got sorry, I think I said Vitor, Weidman. Weidman, though, is going to have two tough tests coming up in Jacare and Rockhold. Both who I think will give him a tougher test than Buddy did here tonight, than Vitor. And honestly, never been the biggest fan of Vitor. I respect the guy, and I actually do like watching him fight, but I think it's time for him to hang them up. He's had a great career. He came in when he was 19. Just the amount of head trauma he's probably taken in that time. He's a legend. He'll go down as a legend. Sure, first ballot Hall of Famer. Just retire, man. Get out while you can. And now on to the main event. For the light heavyweight championship of the world, John Bones Jones, who had his title stripped. So it saw Daniel Cormier stepping in on short notice to take on Anthony Johnson for the light heavyweight title. I enjoyed the fight, I really did. Some people didn't like it, thought it was too much wrestling, but I really liked the chess match there. Because Anthony Johnson comes out guns a-blazing, pop, 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 just swinging, kicking though. Stupid to kick a wrestler. An Olympic wrestler on Cormier's level, you're going to get taken down. And I don't think Johnson has the wrestling defense or the cardio to get out of those scenarios. Because the best thing about Cormier is he really knows how to put that weight on you. That's 230, 240, whatever he is, pounds sitting on, or no, sorry, not 200, that's what he was at heavyweight. That's 205, but come fight night, probably 220 pounds lying on you. And you can't breathe when you're getting smothered like that. I know from experience of wrestling that that's very wearing on the body. So yeah, Anthony had a good start though. Like, he rocked fucking Daniel, dropped him there early. And Daniel said that he doesn't even know if he would have won that fight if that didn't happen. I think that really woke him up, and he realized, man, this guy's got power. And after that, he kind of just kept out wrestling him, took him to the ground. I believe it was the third round. He got the submission victory. And in his post-fight, he got the choke submission. Anthony kind of just gave him his back, gave up on it. I'd like to break it down more, but like I said, I don't have notes, and I don't have too much time to talk about it. But yeah, Anthony kind of just, I don't know if quit's the word, but kind of gave up. It was like, oh, okay, you won. You got the fight. There's no way I'm winning this fight at this point. So I'm not taking anything away from him, but I give Daniel Cormier all the credit in the world. And it's kind of nice because Cain Velasquez is my favorite fighter. So to see Cain and Daniel both hold those belts now, I'm pretty happy about that. I still don't know if he gets John Jones when he comes back, though. He called him out after the fight in the post-fight interview. Very short and sweet. John Jones, get your shit together! And just left the cage. Rogan's like, yeah. I thought that was great. And that's got to be some fucking add fuel to the fire for Jones to train harder. But I think if these guys fought 10 times, Jones might win 7. Cormier might get him 3 times. So you never know. Like, Cormier is that good. But I do think Jones wins the majority of the fights they would have. So it depends on... It'll all depend. If Jones keeps his partying lifestyle up, I don't see him ever coming back the way he was. You see it happen to athletes all the time. They get into this lifestyle and kind of just womp, 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 downhill. But yeah, I enjoyed the card. UFC 188's coming up, and 189, 2 stacked cards. I'll try and get back on here to cover those for you. But yeah, thanks for listening to the video. You can find me over at Push Start Sports on YouTube and on Facebook. Twitch TV, RLE TV. Hit the subscribe button on both. And thanks, guys. I'm out.